Suneera Madhani. Suneera Madhani.
Without much further ado, I'd like to welcome Suneera.
Hi, I'm Suneera Madhani, a mom of two, daughter of an immigrant, and an unlikely entrepreneur who built a billion-dollar business. Yes, billion. Now I'm doing it again and building my second unicorn, Worth. Shockingly, less than 2% of female founders ever reach 1 million in revenue, and I'm on a mission to change that. At CEO School, we mentor thousands of women to help them level up in business and in life. We believe that you deserve to have it all because honestly, nothing bad happens when women make more money. Grab a seat because class is officially in session. Welcome to CEO School. Hi everyone, it's me. I am so excited today. We are back at CEO School podcast studio today. I am in the studio. I am so excited. I have not spoken to all of you in months. Although you've been catching the content, I personally have not recorded an episode in a few months, and I have missed you guys so much. This is the best thing that I get to do as CEO, and to connect with all of you is so important. It's such a huge part of my personal growth journey over the last several years, and I have just missed all of you, and I want to say welcome back officially to the CEO School podcast. We are in the fall 2024 season. I cannot believe we're in fall 2024. It has been, we're like 300 plus something episodes in to the show. It's been 4 years of a journey, and none of it could be possible without all of you tuning in every single week. Whether you have been following along the journey from day one in episode 1, or you are new here, welcome to the CEO School podcast. I'm your host, Suneera Madhani, and I am so grateful that you and I get to spend some time every week together. And this season, I am so excited for. I know I say this every time, but I am just in such a different place in my life energetically, and all of you have experienced my growth over the last several years. And starting, I started the podcast during the building phases of my last company, Stacks. We exited that business north of $1 billion. Yes, $1 billion. We built a $1 billion business. I built a $1 billion business, exited the business. And these last, 2 years or year and a half has been so reflective in that journey. And I'm just a different Suneera right now. It's the same me, but a 2.0 version, a much lighter version, free from so many of the burdens, with so much energy, different energy, more peaceful energy, and just so many lessons that I want to share with all of you. Over the last season in particular, I did so many great interviews, and we got a chance to speak with, every Monday, just some of the most phenomenal founders. And that's always been the mission of the show, is to learn from other women. In 2020, when I started the podcast, there weren't a lot of podcasts that were specifically tailored to women in business, specifically tailored to business scale and growth, and wanting to learn from actual women who've been there and done that, and have conversations about, what are the true strategies that they're using in their business today that we can all apply to scale our business. But as we started to do those episodes, what also we found is that it's not just about business, and business is personal. And there's so much of our personal lives as women that we, sometimes have to leave behind when we come to the table, when we come, come to work. And in my journey, I've had so much evolution in how I've shown up over the years. And I do finally feel like I'm able to show up fully in my one authentic self. And this journey has been a decade-long journey, and I'm still learning and growing. But there's so many lessons that, I'm excited to impart on you guys. And that's what this season's really going to be about. Last season was really about all the interviews and learning from all these amazing women. But this time I'm called to take back the mic. I'm called to share my honest truths. I'm called to be more open and vulnerable and honest with the conversations that you all want to have. And honestly, it's been this last year, I've had an opportunity to really sit and reflect, right? Having the time post life's big monumental things, such as exiting a company, leaving something behind that I worked so hard to build. And then almost having this huge identity crisis thereafter to say, what am I going to do with my life next? What is my worth if it's not my work, right? And just finding myself in so much reflection, and also then going on this journey to heal from, a decade of burnout, and heal from a decade of doing things a certain way. And obviously having so much success from it. And we're going to talk about the success. We're going to talk about the business scale, but coming back into this place of where, I'm just in a different place spiritually. I'm in a different place physically. I've had such a transformation, not only in my business life, but honestly, what's most importantly, in my personal life, in my health journey, in my mind journey, in my family journey, in motherhood. My girls are thriving, and I'm so grateful for them and for their health, and my amazing family and partner. But things are just in a much more, I'm just in a place of ease. And I finally feel that I could say the chase that I've been after in that first 10 years was, always chasing that freedom of dollar, chasing the freedom of, freedom of time. And then, we talked a lot about last season was the freedom of impact. I actually feel like I'm living my life's purpose, and it's, I feel so, so grateful, and I want to protect it, and I want to keep it, and I want to share all the wisdom that I can with you. And I'm also in a place where I am still so excited to grow, and I want to share with you where I'm growing, and I want to be super honest, open, vulnerable, and also have conversations with other women. So this whole season, we've got 24 episodes this season. I'm going to be recording week after week, and it's going to be real time, and we're going to have interviews. I'm going to have solo conversations, but I'm also going to bring different conversations to the table on some of that inner work that we all, can benefit from, and things that, we're doing to hijack not only productivity and time, but our life hacking, right? Our health hacking, and ultimately living a life of purpose, because what's it all for, right? Building the business, doing all the stuff, and then having this success, you really do reflect back, and you're like, what are you building for? And I'm in a chapter of legacy building and of finding that, inner peace and trying to truly live my life's purpose. And I'm just so grateful for all of you. And I'm so grateful that I get to do it alongside all of you. So with that, welcome back to the CEO School podcast. And I hope you're just as excited as I am. As we're going to kick off the season, there's also going to be some things that are different. We're so excited to have AdLarge as a partner this season. It's been 4 seasons of running the show without any support. Obviously, just the support of our incredible podcast team at Hi Hello Studios. They are so fantastic. I come in here every week, or even where I was recording on the go last season at all the conferences. And I always have my team by my side. It's been the same team that we've had for years now that has been producing the show. So a big shout out as we gear up to the team here, and then also to the CEO School team. We've got new members on the team. I'm so excited to introduce the evolution of what's happening at CEO School as well. So we can't do it without our team. And this time around, we do have support from an amazing sponsor as well. And so you're going to get to hear from them. And we're going to be having just the most amazing conversations this season, this next 24 episodes. And I feel like it's so short, but it's going to go so fast. But that's what's up ahead. It's fall, it's back to school, and I want to make some commitments. So just to kind of recap what's been happening over the summer, we had such a phenomenal summer. This summer was a little different than most summers I've had, where I've taken a couple weeks off, gone to Europe, or taken the kids and just turned off for a bit. This summer, I got to really spend time with everybody that I love, and including all my best friends, and spending just not just travel time with my family, but really spending quality time with our friends and our relatives. And so I've been spending time with family. I've been spending time with the girls. We actually did absolutely no camps this summer, which at the start of summer seemed like a really good idea. And I will tell you, it is the worst idea ever. It was so exhausting, but it was also so fun just getting to spend time with them. But it was very chaotic. And this summer, I made a commitment to, really take time for my family, and I'm building up another startup. So in March, we announced the launch of my second fintech, Worth, which is an AI-driven risk and underwriting platform. We're building out the business credit score, which is so big. I'm so excited to take you along this journey with me. It's been so different doing it again, and just the lessons that I've learned the first time around, I'm applying them immediately the second time around. And there's also so much that's changed. So I'm on the startup journey back again with all of you. And it's crazy. I can't believe I'm doing it all over again and rolling up my sleeves. And the purpose is really big. The mission is really big. The legacy that I'm trying to leave here is really big. And so I'm really excited about the launch of Worth Score. I want you guys to check it out. You can go to worthscore.com. Please, please, please sign up for the waitlist. We are dropping the beta here next month. I want it just to go to my internal audience, and I want you to test it for me. So we're building out the business credit score. It's going to be like Rocket Money, but for your business, a one-stop financial health profile to know the credit worth of your business. And I want I want you in the platform. I want you to give me feedback. I want to give it away to all of you. I want you to test it with me. I want you to build it with me. So you're going to be a big part of that journey. But over the last several months, I did things differently. The first time around when I was building a business, I went one-to-one to every customer. And I started with small business first when I started my first company, Stacks. And then later on, I went to enterprise and sold to big enterprise. This time around, we flipped it. We're selling to enterprise first. So we're going directly to all of the large institutions and the large banks. And I'm so happy to report that we are literally in pilots with 4 of the top 10 banks in the nation right now. And so I've been super heads down in serving these enterprise customers. And this time around, it's like, how can I go one to many and really reach the masses quickly? And that's what scale is all about. And those are the things I'm going to share with you guys this season of how I'm doing it differently this time, and hopefully not only inspire you, but give you actionable tips that we can apply across any industry to really disrupt what you're doing, and to do it big, to do it large, and to do it fast, right? And to do it to get to that next milestone a lot quicker. And so that's been the journey with Worth this summer. We've launched the product. We're in pilots. I've got a big team again. I think the last time you heard from me about Worth was in March. We, had a small team of roughly around 20 individuals, and now we've doubled our team size. We're about 47 right now, and it's going to continue to grow. And so the team is growing, and we've launched on the enterprise side, and we're giving this risk platform, this underwriting platform to these large institutions, but the real magic is going to come from the small business part for all of you. And so I'm so excited to get that into the hands of all of you, but I need your help. So that's what's a little bit of update about Worth. I would love to share with you so that's been summer, but we're back, and I'm making some commitments, and I want you to make some commitments with me this fall, this season, this back to school. So I kind of wrote down some of the things that I'm making a commitment to. And one of the things that I am committed to is keeping that freedom, right? So freedom is something that I do feel like I've worked really hard to have, and I want to protect that freedom. And if you're listening and you're like, Suneera, I don't have freedom of dollar, I don't have freedom of time, I don't have freedom of impact, or you have one of it and you don't have the other, or you don't have all of it, we will get there in that freedom, and we're gonna do it together. And the first commitment is really on that freedom of time. And I want to protect my time. I want to help you protect your time. And with that, this, last couple of months, just this last week, we had Power Hour inside of our Founders Club. So there's so much happening inside CEO School. I'll be sharing where my time is being spent right now. But class is in session. Class has been in session. And so if you're not part of the CEO School's family, I'm teaching every month inside of CEO School, and you can join the Founders Club today. The link is in show notes. It's so accessible. With the podcast promo, I'll throw a link in there. It's $50 per month to join the CEO School membership, and it's not a membership unlike any other community. I'm actually in the platform. I'm teaching in the platform. There's so many great resources, but even if you just come and just show up for the once a month Power Hour and get the deep dive of the learnings and the teachings, it's so worth it. Not just like the community and the women that are in there are so phenomenal, but I just finished Power Hour and I was literally showing the women my exact calendar system. So I can't wait over the next couple of episodes to really deep dive into how I'm still continuing to time hack, because we all have the same amount of hours in a day. We all have the same amount of time. And what I'm doing is just, it's not rocket science, but I'm just honoring my calendar. I was saying is like my number one tool that I continue to use, and I honor the things that I put on my calendar. I'm not just filling up my calendar for the sake of filling it up or trying to put activities and trying to do this and trying to productize, everything. It's really about honoring the commitments and just, thinking ahead of here's the commitments that I'm making and here's what I want my week to look like. And this is when I want my work weeks. This is what I want the timing to start at. So I work 9 to 4 Monday through Thursday, 9 to 12 on Friday, and this is what my work week looks like. And then, this is how much time I spend on CEO school. Worth right now is going to occupy most of that time, but then here's my commitments to the podcast. Here's my commitments. I'm on a media tour for Worth this fall. How am I fitting that in there? And then, of course, making sure that there is time for myself. Every week, every Sunday, I still sit down and do my Sunday Zoom out, look at the calendar, and I plug in my health commitments, my time for myself, my self-care time, which are my walks, which are not included in my workout times, and time for peace, time for meditation. And I sit there, and time for my family. And so creating the system around the calendar, I still believe is super, super important. I'm going to help you through it, not on today's episode, but we are committing we're going to commit to having freedom and freedom of time. And it's going to start with, so the one thing I'm going to leave you with today is I want you guys all to sit down and say, what do my work hours actually look like? So if you're, you have a 9 to 5 or you have a corporate job, what does that actually look like? Where can you find that? Where does your time actually fall? And if most of you here are probably listening are already an entrepreneur, but how are we spending that time? What do you want that time to look like? And let's be realistic with that time as well, so we can have some boundaries around it. What does it look like on, your personal time? What does it look like? What do you want it to look like for, your health? What do you want it to look like for your family? And so actually setting the schedule, and that's the one, that's your one homework assignment for today on time, is to say, what does the work schedule actually look like and what commitments am I going to make for time? That's going to be super important for us. That's your one assignment for today. And we will get into how we're going to take back the time, but setting those commitments are super important. But freedom of time is important to me. And then the next commitment that I have made over this last year and a half, and honestly last night preparing for being in studio today, I was actually looking back at all of our previous episodes, and it's hard to look at yourself on camera, guys. It's so difficult no matter what. And I'm like looking back and I'm like, wow, what a transformation that I see in myself. But it's honestly been such a journey over these last 2 years. In my health journey. And I want to share my health journey with you guys of what's been working, what I've been up to, but it's not just my body, it's been my mind as well. But I'm committed. I'm committed to my health. I'm committed to my mindset. I'm committed to practicing all the things that are going to make me, I want to live long. I want to be there for my kids, and I want to, see this life through, and I want to see the legacy through, and made a huge commitment to being healthy inside and out. And so that is something that I am committed to. And if you are here, you're listening to the show, I want you to make that commitment too. I don't know where you are in your journey, but you are not too busy to make that commitment. You are not too busy to make that commitment. And I do feel like I didn't listen to the things I needed to listen to. I was so busy. And honestly, overextending myself for work. And I'm not saying that it didn't pan out and that but I do think that I could have created the time that I needed even during building the last business. And it took a lot of change. It took, it took commitment on my side and consistency to really change my habits, whether that be, truly for movement, truly for mindfulness, and even my habits for food and for drinking and for what my lifestyle looked like. And, had to have hard conversations with myself, but I had to get really committed on my health journey. And it has been the best. And everyone will tell you this on the other side of it. It's like, I wish I did it sooner. but it's never too late. And that's a commitment I want you to make with me. This is the journey that we're on all together. And so there is none of it's important. We can build the most amazing business. We can have all of the wealth in the world and create all the legacy for our kids. But if we can't actually be there to enjoy our life, it's, none of it's worth it. And so I've made that commitment, and I'm going to share with you all the things that I'm doing on that commitment. But the homework that I have for you today is just making those commitments. So what does where do I want to commit to? What does freedom look like for me on time? What does freedom look like for me, on my health journey? And then the last, I actually wrote down a few more commitments, but it's freedom of impact, right? And impact looks, in so many different ways, but I'm committed to making an impact. That's my commitment here. I want to pay it forward. I do believe that we have a greater calling on earth. Like, we all have a purpose and a dharma to live up to. And, I am on a spiritual path myself, and I want to, I'm not in the full woo yet. And I know the show is all about business scale. So I want you to bear with me, and I want you to tell me, I want to know if this is if you're excited about this, because I'm excited about it. And I do believe in if we have that purpose in whatever we're doing, it's going to translate to success in the things that we want. And we'll have that freedom of dollar, freedom of time, and that freedom that we want to have in our lives, or to live out our dharma. And so I am committed to making an impact, and I want you to commit to making an impact, whatever that looks like, and in your business. And when we have that, our why is strong. Our commitment might be to our teams. It might be to our community. It might be a greater purpose than that. I really want all of you to think about where your impact is going to be, this season with me, right? And it's not just about having these huge, together we're going to go on this journey this season. Together we're going to go on this journey this fall. And by the end of the year, I really hope to hold you accountable. I really hope to hold you accountable to attain what we're going to set out to attain this fall. And I'm going to be your coach. I'm going to be your mentor. I'm going to be your guide. And we're going to do it together. And I'm going to share with you what my goals are. And my goals are, to continue to, I want to scale Worth. I'm getting this company started. It's so exciting, but it's hard, and we got to take it from 0 to 2 million in revenue at the end of the year. So I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to share those are our goals. How am I going to get there? We're going to put things in place, and we're going to put scale in motion. I am committed to my health. I have been so consistent over the last 18 months of walking, of doing Pilates, of doing yoga, of doing strength training. And I've found a love. I've never was the woman that was I love working out. I've just never been that. And I found things that work for me, and I've, been consistent with them, and I've seen slow progress. But when I look back at 2 years of progress, it's been in a huge transformation. And so I'm going to stay accountable to my plan. I have, I've got some goals, not only for, I think, where I'm at, I'm happy where I'm at consistently from a health and movement standpoint, but I do want to continue to, I'm working on mindset right now. And so this is the first time that I feel like I've got the physical aspects in, still working on, but in a good place. But I'm ready for spiritual growth. I'm ready for commitment to, growing again from a mindset perspective. I've always had a great growth mindset perspective. And if you're honestly here listening today, it's because you have a growth mindset. And I'm doing that too. I want to listen to the right people that are inspiring me, that are putting good thoughts in my ear. I want to listen to the right books. I want to read the right books. I want to be committed to mindfulness and practice and truly being present. So those are some of the conversations I'm going to be having with you of what I'm doing right now. And some of the things that I'm doing is just honestly walking. And so if you're listening to this podcast, do it while you move. Maybe we can make that commitment together of maybe you listen to it while doing the dishes or on your drive, but can you actually go out for a walk with me? And that's my place of happy. This is where I have and just being in nature, and and I know weather's going to change, but the fall is going to be so beautiful everywhere we are. The fall is going to be just wonderful and lovely. And the summer's been so hot and cruel, in Orlando especially. And so wherever you are, maybe we can make that commitment together of going on these walks or finding that time. And this podcast might be that thing that you and I will, we'll connect together, and I'll go on a walk with you, and I'll go on a journey with you. So let's get to that commitment of that's going to be my impact on, is committing to this podcast and helping us not only scale the business, but really this is the energy. This is the energy that we're in. And it's really exciting. I'm in a really exciting time, not only, with the new growth and worth, but I finally do feel like even with CEO School, the journey that we've had over the last 4 years, it's been phenomenal, the journey that we've had. We started this as the podcast. We created courses, we created a community, but it evolved so much more than that. And I think where we really thrive is the education and bringing women in person and the workshops and the network. Your network is your net worth, right? That's something that, we've said for so long. And this year, we were able to bring the Millionaire Founders Club group together. And it was so phenomenal I had so much fun. Like, I brought together my peers, women who are 7+ figures in business, and we just had the best time of our lives. We had the conversations that you and I are having today. Those are the conversations that we had, but we got to have them in person. And relationships, my love language is quality time. That's why this is my favorite medium of how I connect with all of you compared to newsletter or social or anything else. This is where I feel I love this time. And that was the best time. We had the best time. And we always have a great time when we're in person. And so we are going to meet again for a Millionaire Founders Club. So, we do recognize that there's so many of you that want to get in the room that aren't at the 7-figure mark, right? That are in an earlier stage in your journey. And so we have created a chapter for the emerging millionaire founder. So it's the same conversations. It's the playbooks on scaling to that next place, but putting us in a room together. So there are going to be opportunities this fall to come together with us. And I really encourage you to come join us. Come join us for one of these 2 groups. It is so phenomenal. It's so much fun. I'm having the best time. And honestly, that's how I'm able to continue to do this for 4 years, because it doesn't feel like it's not work. This is the purpose. This is what I'm meant to do. And so I will link those items as well in the show notes. If you're interested in our Millionaire Founders group or the Emerging Millionaire Founders group, we are meeting, twice this fall, in November and December. And so definitely, enroll right away, enroll today, apply today. I would love to meet you in person and spend a weekend in Tucson, Arizona at the Ritz-Carlton under the stars, and having a glass of wine with the fire burning, and having these conversations, but in real life and in person. So we've got lots of exciting stuff happening, and CEO School team is also evolving and growing. I've got some really awesome announcements that will be coming up, so stay tuned. I've scaled that team. And so in order for me to spend time and bring on something, bring back, the level of work that Worth will require, I need to scale my team, and that's what Scale is about. So we do have a new president in place, and I'll be introducing her to all of you in the next upcoming episodes. And it's been so amazing to just fully hand everything over, to trust in my team, and to cultivate that. And I want to share that with all of you, right? I want to share how we're scaling and how all of you, how we should be thinking about our businesses, right? So scaling a business, we're going to talk a lot about scaling. And over the last 4 years, right, our principles of scale have always been scaling through people, scaling through profits, and scaling through process. And people are a huge part of scale. And so that's how I'm able to do all this stuff. And so my commitment is for time. And I want you to make your commitment of what time looks like. So I want you guys to think about, that's your homework, whether that's through a journal, and telling me, this is what I want my time to look like, Suneera. Commitment of our health. And I want you to make a commitment to me, whether that is just 1% better than like what we did, in the summer or earlier, in the spring, or if it's a complete 180. I don't need you to make a huge commitment. I want you to make a small commitment, but I want you to make a commitment of how we're going to improve together our minds and our body. And then I want you to commit on what your impact looks like. This is my impact. And I get to wake up every day to serve. And this is the work that I know I'm set out to do. And I'm letting it happen. And I just feel energetically really different in a good way. And I'm really excited to do this journey with all of you. Thank you so much for coming back to this season. I know there's a lot of shows to choose from. I think when we started the podcast a couple of years ago, I don't feel like the space was as big as it is now. And so I just want you to know how much I value each and every one of you showing up, and I need your help. I really do believe that this space is different. It's unique, and it's better to do it with friends. It's so much better to do it with friends because then we can hold each other accountable to our commitments. And so I need two things from you. I would love for you to, share this with your social. I'd love for you to screenshot this episode. I'd love for you to share it with a friend, share it however you want to, whether it's on social, whether it's with a friend, and actually subscribe to the show. So if you're, on YouTube, I want you to if you're not on YouTube, subscribe to it on YouTube. I want you to subscribe to it on Spotify or iTunes. So definitely hit the subscribe button so that every week, every Monday, it's in your inbox, and I'm gonna hold you to it. We're gonna have the best fall together, and the best ending of 2024. We're gonna accomplish it all, but I want you to share it with a friend, okay? And then I want you to take 2 seconds for me. I want you to leave a review of the show. And that is exactly how we grow. I look back and now I'm having to learn the business of podcasting per se, right? And it is important. So in order for this message to be heard and for us to all go on this journey together, I make that request. So if you could leave us a review, and I'm super, super grateful for it. So leave a review and screenshot it and share it with us. I want our team to be sending you guys swag. Like, we've got some great activations. I just want you to be part of the journey, and I want you to be part of the conversation. So if you're listening today, I honestly want to get this episode out today. I don't even want to wait till, this is back to school. I'm recording this just a few weeks prior. We're at the end of July. This episode's going to go out in like 3 weeks. I'm dying to hear your thoughts about the season. So what I want is for you to share with me what you want to talk about, who you want on the show, and not just from a business standpoint. I want to hear about I want to have the questions that you want answers to. I want to know what you want to hear. I want to know. I want introductions to people that you think might be really awesome to have on the show. But I want your input. I want to build alongside you. We're in this together, and we're making these commitments together. So that's what this season is going to be about. And I hope you are just as excited as I am, because I really am. I know this is going to be just magic. It's going to be just magic. It's going to be just magic. And so much to share. But I'll pause here because that's the end of today's episode for today's Monday. So you've got some homework to do. It's back to school. I want you to make those commitments with me. And let me know when you're done with your homework. So I'm always online. You can always find me on Instagram and on LinkedIn as well. So follow along on LinkedIn as well. And I'll see you there. So I'll see you next week back at the CEO School podcast.